Kirk Cousins. I did commit. I made the commitment.
You
Win
did.
the Super Bowl. He's the MVP. I get the tattoo. And it prompted some to actually root for the outcome where he would be the Super Bowl MVP, but the Vikings lose the game.
Oh, well, that
That's
would
not
be
gonna
the
happen.
ultimate trifecta for people who want to see you get your feathers ruffled.
Yeah, but I stand by it. I stand by it, and I'm willing to extend the commitment into 2020 when Kirk joins.
Yeah, well, I know you are because you're a diehard Vikings fan. As much as you want to say, yes, you are. You wouldn't get a tattoo of any other team. I know that. That's your guy, but it is going to be fun. And I know Kirk Cousins, yeah, he's taken some verbal abuse, really, from both of us, mainly you. But he's also, I think, very real in recognizing the big picture of things too, and then got you back with the crack cancer thing this summer.
The eggs, a lot of eggs.
Where
too.
you and not only got you, but that ended up extending to me. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah.
And your family and all your close friends, they really seem to enjoy throwing eggs on your head too. That was a fun video to watch.
Yeah, and it was a lot of eggs. It was a whole lot of eggs.
Disgusting,
That was Memorial
actually.
Day weekend. We may talk about that a little bit more. I know that you just had like 1 or 2 eggs, but it completely disgusted you. But
Yes,
we'll have
it
Kirk.
did.
Hopefully, he has not brought any eggs.
Oh, he's
that he will
coming.
be throwing
Here he
at me.
comes, everybody.
Here he
Just for
comes.
you out
The
there.
drum roll,
He's
please. We're
walking
gonna have
down
another
the
walk-on.
aisle.
2 in a row walk-ons. I think they're gonna send him the long way, so it was across the shot, but Kirk
Here he comes.
Joining
Here
us
he
now.
comes. Here
There he
he
is.
comes. This is the best segment ever in PFT history.
Oh, here he is. Kirk Cousins, welcome back. How are you? Good to see you.
Yes.
Have a seat.
What's up,
Grab a
man?
microphone.
Man, good to see you. Doing all right? Come on, jump in. Let's just rag on Florio or this whole
He's
segment,
been looking forward to
okay?
this from the moment that they said he's going to be joining us. He will not let me hear the end. Oh, I can't wait. I'm going to get him all fired up. He's going to beat you up before he leaves. Kirk, welcome back. How are you?
Thank you. Appreciate it. Good to see you guys.
Thank you for being such a stand-up citizen and guy for coming here and dealing with this guy.
That's all good.
And it was an awesome move by you to throw the crack cancer thing onto him this last summer.
Yeah, I just wanted to see.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it
he
worked. And I
deserved
took
it.
like 20 eggs. They destroyed me.
Did you see?
Oh,
Ever
you
see
made
the
a lot of
video?
people
You
It
did.
was outstanding.
Good. Oh, there it is. I mean, it is disgusting. It really is.
But then
Oh.
he
Kept going.
Then he got to do it too, and it was just like 1 or 2, and I think you were sick for a week
I
afterwards.
was sick for a week, and
Oh,
then
my
my
goodness.
dogs licked it up off the ground, and they started throwing up later that day too. It ended
was
up
a
being a
fun scene.
disaster.
I love it.
But Kirk, it is great to talk to you. Look, we're candid in our views.
Sure. Amen.
And when you play well, we're the first ones to say so. And there were times where, far more often than not this year, it was great. I mean, you had a great season, and we congratulate you on that. It was a special year.
Yeah, I was happy to get 10 wins, get in the playoffs, win a playoff game. There's a lot to be encouraged about. Certainly, when you're not playing this weekend, you're disappointed. Most teams are. But looking back, you feel like there's a lot to be encouraged about now as we look to 2020, and got a lot of good players on that team.
Yeah, you definitely do. I mean, the first thing I got to ask you, because I got to talk sense into him every now and then. But what was the turning point to you this year? Because everybody, I think, looks at it, me especially, like Thielen kind of calling you out to a degree, right? Which I still don't like that he did that to you. All right, but either way, is that the turning point?
Well, people like to look at that. For me, I really played the same way all the way through. I just felt like things started to turn a little bit.
Yeah.
I felt like we were running the ball well. We had a good football team. It was just a matter of time. We were 2-2, and then next I think we went 8-2 over the next 10 games, and that certainly made a huge difference in the tenor of the season. But as far as just the way I approached it, the way I played, I never really adjusted or changed anything. I just think that we were able to find some continuity as an offense, and it was another year of a new system.
Yeah,
And
right.
Once we kind of hit our stride, we were able to kind of take off and not look back.
We talked to Stefan about this yesterday, Kirk. The throw that you made Adam Thielen, the 43-yarder in overtime, best throw of your life, arguably, close to it, under the circumstances,
Sure.
with what was riding on it. And then the next play, the snap down at your hip. You got to grab it. You got to get rid of it quickly. I mean, those 2 plays, the kind of thing that maybe elevates a team, elevates a player. How much of what happened in that game, setting aside the next week, what happens in that game that carries over into 2020?
Well, I think when you can win a playoff game, especially on the road, it does something for your confidence, for your team's belief. Certainly the next week against San Fran was tough, and we saw that, hey, there's another mountain to climb here that we weren't ready to climb yet. If anything, maybe that loss to San Fran is what galvanizes us going into OTAs and training camp, knowing that we got some work to do.
Yeah,
we can't
right.
rest on any laurels. We have we have a place to go that we proved when we weren't ready to go yet. So we'll take a lot from both, but there's certainly an encouragement winning a playoff game saying, hey, we can do this.
I mean, that's exactly what happened to the Bears in '84. We talked about that a few weeks ago.
Giants
they got shut out by the 49ers. The Bears got shut out by the 49ers in the championship game in '84, and they became determined after that. This is the mountain that we have to climb, and they became the '85 Bears the next year.
Yeah, and you always look back at other teams. When we were the 6th seed, I was looking, okay, what other 6 seeds have done this? And you thought of the 2010 Packers, you know, and the run they made. And so you're always kind of looking at what's the precedent for this, who has done it in the past, and you kind of gain encouragement from that. So if we have the '85 Bear defense, we might have a shot.
You might be able to get me a quarterback if that happens.
I've got real estate reserved on my left arm. We played it before you came up.
Did you hear this?
Kirk Cousins, Super Bowl MVP, getting the tattoo. I didn't know if you were aware of that.
He was going to get a tattoo. I mean, I went full, fledged Kirk Cousins.
Was that unique to this past season? Or
no, I'm willing to extend it. I'm willing to extend it for another year.
That could be fun to kind of follow as we go here.
Come on, big guy. Let's do it.
As if there weren't enough reasons to get to
that's right. I got
on the cake here.
There. It's there. Yes, absolutely.
That's
if it happens, I will do it. And you lost your mind when I told him about it, but I told Kyle Rudolph about it during the season. He got a kick out of it.
Oh, dear God, dear God, dear God. Please let the Vikings win the Super Bowl, please.
What do you need to do tangibly? I mean, get to work and check the boxes. But give me something. Russell Wilson talked earlier about what the Seahawks need to get to the next level. What do you think the Vikings need to push through to the point where you're playing in this game?
Well, it'll be key because there's so much turnover every year to whoever comes in new. You know, we got a new coordinator. We've got, thankfully, it's someone who's already been within our system, so we're not starting over. But as we draft, as new free agents come in, as other players have to move on, just making sure everybody gets on the same page as quickly as possible, and that we build this thing through April, May, and June so that we're not still figuring it out in September and October like to some degree we may have been last year. You know, we can't afford to have that. And those 2 losses early, you end up looking back and you say, man, is that the difference between the 6th seed and the 2 seed or whatever it may be? So when you go on the road and get beat by San Fran, you start to realize the importance of a 1 or a 2 seed if you can get it. So just getting everybody on the same page, and then I'll always look at my game in a loss like San Francisco of what I can do better. And certainly I think, playing off schedule and being able to make some plays when things aren't there is something I'm going to try to work on, as we go through this offseason.
Yep. All right, we're going to play a little game. Let's do it.
What's the game?
Well, who said this? I want him to guess which one of us said this quote. Let's do it.
Do you have it?
No.
I got it.
You do. Okay,
This conflicts with everything I've said most of the year about Kirk Cousins, but I don't think the gap right now between Kirk Cousins and Patrick Mahomes is as broad as people would think it is. Who said that, me or Sims?
I'm going to guess Sims.
Yeah, you would think, right? Logic, and I root for you, but actually, Crazy Man here said it.
I did say it, and I believed it.
I believed it at the time. Can you believe that? I almost fell off my chair on real TV when he said it. I couldn't believe it.
But, here's the thing, and I paid very close attention to the things you said publicly about the criticism and the issues that came up after the Bears game. You did take that. Guys say all the time, we don't listen to any of the noise. You took the noise, and you used that, I believe, to motivate yourself to a higher level. And I mean, it carried you through the whole year. Is that an accurate assessment? The criticism and all the stuff after that Bears game became like the fuse for you that pushed you to what we saw.
Yeah, what was interesting was I don't go and read it, and yet it's impossible to avoid because you're being asked about it at your press deal on Wednesday. And so you understand there's something out there and all that. You can piece it together. Yeah, I do think in some ways, even going back to the You Like That game, that any time I've kind of been doubted and attacked, for whatever reason, I've played better. Don't really know why. I feel like I'm going about my business the same way, but the results would say that I've played better. And who knows? Maybe it just helps me find that extra fire. I don't really know.
We asked Stephon yesterday, important question, because the narrative with the Vikings is if the run game's there, the pass game will be there. But if the run game's not there, the pass game may not be there. How do you change that so you don't need to have Dalvin Cook or Alexander Mattison ripping off those big gains to soften up the defense for the pass?
Well, sometimes it's truly how your offense and team is built too.
Yeah.
If you're gonna commit to that, then you're gonna commit to that. I've played on teams that did not commit to the run, and we were very effective throwing the ball, threw for almost 5,000 yards in 2016. But at the same time, we weren't a running football team.
Yeah.
So some of it is, what's your identity going to be, and if that's what you're going to lean on, it needs to be there too.
Right.
But we'll go back this offseason and work with Gary and the staff, and look at how we can be more effective, because there's going to come games where you're just not going to be able to run it. And that was kind of what Adam's comments were after week 4 was the day's going to come where you can't run it.
Right.
And what now?
Right.
And I think that'll certainly be a challenge we're going to try to answer, as we go through this offseason and next year.
Your teammates love you. That was one of the coolest moments. I just want to say that after the New Orleans Saints. I mean, when you said you like that, and I think it gave us chills. I mean, we laughed about it all week. It was one of the great clips of the year. I do want to ask you this. You played both of these teams in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Come on, give me a little scouting report. What jumps out to you about both teams?
Well, what was interesting was when we played the Chiefs, Patrick was out and Frank Clark was out.
Right.
Chris Jones was the real deal.
Yeah.
He had a big impact.
Right.
And then after we played them, because we felt like their defense statistically going into our game was not that dominant.
Yep.
We felt like they were a very good defense when we played them, even without Frank Clark.
Right.
And then statistically, the rest of the year, they were
better.
actually elite. So
Right.
I'm not quite sure what happened, but we felt that elite defense was more what we got than the one that had been going on the first half of the season.
Right.
But not seeing Mahomes, you wonder how much did that change the feel of that game, and then lost to him late in the game, and then San Fran certainly, kind of beat the brakes off us. So especially in the second half. So you feel like both teams deserve to get there.
Yeah.
And you usually do when you go through the playoffs and beat good teams. That's what's going to make it so fun. But one's going to be ground and pound, it would seem. The other one's going to be, all kinds of plays through the air, and we'll see how it plays out.
That D-line in San Fran, like as advertised, was it the best you saw this year?
Yeah, I think when you can rotate people in, it reminds me of the Eagles D-line when they won it all.
Right.
You had 5 or 6 recognizable names of pass rushers so that they were rotating them in so that they're always fresh. And you're not asking the same guy to rush the passer with everything he's got over and over and over again. So I think their depth not only is great for having great players, but it enables them to be at their best more often because they're not fatigued.
Right.
Kirk joins us today on behalf of Sleep Number. This is your chance to give us the big pitch so we all go out and buy a Sleep Number bed.
Well, we got the Sleep Number set up over there.
It's awesome.
I've got a Sleep Number bed in Minnesota and everywhere else we go, and it's been a game changer for me. I've had it for 2 years now, and I want to play as long as the Tom Brady's, the Drew Breeses. Eli Manning just retired, but what a career he had, and with over 200 starts. And you want to get there. And I do think that quality sleep and quantity sleep is so important.
It's huge
to the recovery and being able to get there. So it's a commitment of mine. I really believe in it, and I'm thrilled that Sleep Number is willing to partner and help me get there.
What time you going to bed every night on your Sleep Number?
So I'm going to bed early. I started this probably about when I was on my 2015 when I started to be the starter more often. I was going to bed about 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then getting up about 6. So getting about 9 hours a night is what I try to do.
Yeah, good for you. I got to ask you. We got to ask him about Shanahan. I mean, Shanahan thought he was going to bring you to the 49ers,
I know.
right? I mean, we know that. That's what he thought. Give us your thought. What makes Kyle so awesome through Kirk Cousins' eyes?
Well, I remember my rookie year. Week 1, we're at the Saints, and we got a rookie quarterback, and I'm backing him up as a rookie quarterback. And we put up, I think it was 40-some points.
Right.
And we had a new number 1 receiver in Pierre Garçon, a new number 2 in Josh Morgan, a rookie running back in Alfred Morris. And they put up 40 points.
Right.
And I remember calling my dad after the game saying, wow, I mean, what Kyle Shanahan did as a game planner and play caller today was unbelievable. And so I knew early this guy's pretty special.
Yeah.
It's not any one thing. I think it's evolved through the years. You see the jet sweep motions more this year than you have in past years. But I just think he takes so much pride in it and grinds on it.
Right.
It's the most important thing in his life in a lot of ways, that he studies it and knows what to call week in and week out. And certainly gets that from his dad and has done a phenomenal job. And not only in the play calling, but in talent evaluation in terms of who he's drafted and who he brings in free agency. He's on top of it.
Yeah.
Well, hey, Kirk, we appreciate you very much. We appreciate you for being a good sport and understanding where we come
Sleep
from.
Number, the man.
Remember
Kirk
we told
Cousins.
Coach Dungy that you saw the guy with the T-shirt that says "Just one in my lifetime"? Remember when you told him that? I got that shirt. So
I love it.
That's why
Amen.
we do what we do.
Amen.
So we wish you the best in 2020.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.